Hi, welcome back to the channel. We're going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to be out in the front garden and I'm going to show you transformation of just one small area. Did go outside, set the camera up, put my hearing aid in so I could hear if the music in the background would be picked up by the camera, and I didn't realise how loud it is out there. The wind, the traffic, the birds. There's so much noise going on out there. So what I decided to do was do this introduction. Then I'll go outside. I will film what I'm doing. I'll have the music up loud so the camera keeps recording. And then when I'm editing it, I will fast forward it and talk you through what I'm doing. And the bits where I don't need to talk, I'll just put some little music in there for you. Okay, so let's venture out to the garden.
Well, we're in the garden now. The first thing I need to do here is dig up some iris bulbs. I did have some that were up in the top garden, over to the right of the carports. And I moved them down here about 2-3 years ago. Now, when they were up in the top garden, they were really good, healthy. They had nice, broad, long leaves, and they all flowered. Every bulb, I think, was about 25 to 30 bulbs. And then for some reason, I decided I'd bring them down here. I thought the purple flowers would look nice against the orange rose. Unfortunately, they didn't do too well down here. They came up. Not all of them came up, but probably about 15, 16 of them. And they came up with very, very thin, strappy, spindly leaves. And only about 5 or 6 of them flowered. So whether it gets too much sun here, up there gets the shade earlier, that could be it. They're both in exactly the same beach sand that unfortunately most of my area is built on. It was all sand dunes at one time. But anyway, I've got them all the way around it, more from where the black plastic border starts, and I've got them going all the way around to where the black plastic border ends. I'm not going to subject you to the whole thing. I'm only going to go part way around because I want to get on with the job, and then I can do that without having to use up film and your time. So I thought, well, what I'll do is, I didn't mean I was going to fast forward. What I meant was I was going to speed it up. So I'm going to say I'm actually pulling some bulbs out. I've got a few in this blue bucket here. I keep missing things, so I have to pop into the garage to go and get the things that I need. Don't know what I went for that time. The biggest problem is I can't remember. I've got with the retip down there. You can see the retip's just a fair bit out from the wall here, but around here some of it gets quite close to the border, and I can't remember if I put the bulbs behind the pipe or in front of it, remembering that I would have been in this garden, sat in this garden digging the holes and putting the plants in. So yeah, it's a bit of a hit and miss search for them. So anyway, got those done. For the next bit, I just wanted to deadhead the rose and take some of the longer pieces off, because I do tend to get scratched on the rose bush, and as you get older you'll realise that you bleed very quickly. The skin's a lot thinner, so I try to get as much of it out of the way as I can. So what I'm doing here now is I've got couch grass growing up through here. Many moons ago when the house was first built, I just had, it was very different to this. I had some logs as retaining wall, and it went quite a way back. This driveway was just concrete, and then there was like just a concrete path in front of the house to the front door. And then I had lawn, which was the couch underneath all of this. Then as time went by and I could afford it, got all the paving done, had the limestone wall built and put the garden in. And of course the couch, the runners just grow through everything. So I had to pull some of that out. And these slabs now need moving. The way I've done them was so that one was like that and then one was like that, so they actually overlapped a little bit in the square, and there's a tiny square of artificial turf in there with a post PVC pipe in the middle. My Christmas tree goes on there. I actually did this last year. It was getting annoying. I was getting too hard actually with my arthritis. Trying to get the tree level and then put a long pole in to put my Christmas tree star on. So I thought, well, what I'll do, I'll sink this PVC pipe and put a cap on it. Then at Christmas, I can take the cap off, pop the post in, and I don't have to go hammering it. So it worked really well. I thought I'd taken a video of it, which I could have shown you, but I can't find the video. I'm losing stuff all over the place here. So I'm now moving the 4 slabs out so that they're actually tucked in on the corners, so I can add extra slabs. So I have 3 across there, 1 each there, and then 3 across there. And that way I've got more space. When I put the tree up, I've actually got pavers to put the box. I have a waterproof box that the power board goes in with the cloth, so it's all protected if it does rain, which you don't expect it to do in Australia at Christmas time, but we have had wet days around Christmas. If we have a run of over 40 degrees, we do tend to get a thunderstorm, so that's not a surprise. Well, here we are now. It's Wednesday morning, the 28th of May. I did manage to get the 2 1 metre square mats down on either side of the pelvis. And I'm now opening up the 1 metre by 3 metre roll. I should have done it earlier and put it out, let it get softened up, because it's very stiff. Hard to work with, as you'll see. I have to keep using my feet to lift it up and unroll it. But I got there in the end. As you can see, as I've shown you before, when you're cutting down with the grain, it's easy. It's when you're going across and you've got the humps. That's something that makes it difficult to cut. But I only need to go straight because that is long enough to fit from there, that side to that side. There is a slab here that will be moved. So also along here, we've got more couch that I'm going to take out. And I didn't tell you in the last bit, the couch grass is actually spelled C-O-U-C-H. So it looks like couch, but it's actually pronounced couch. And anybody living in Australia that is just building or bought a new house and want to do the gardens up, you're going to put lawn in, be aware that if you get couch and you've got a garden next to the lawn, you're forever going to be pulling out couch grass from that lawn. So, just a warning. It's very hardy lawn, but, well, I don't know what that was that popped up then. So I moved the mouse too far. So this couch will go. There's also 2 bulbs in here. I don't know what they are. They have flowered, haven't flowered. They've actually come up for the last 2 or 3 years. I don't even remember planting them. But I did have a lot of other stuff in this garden. I had other roses that never grew any taller than what they were when I got them from the nursery. So they just didn't like this. Even though I put soil improver, water, crystals, all the rest, they just never survived. The only one is this one, which was a very old one when I first got it. It was somebody that was having their garden redone and didn't want the rose anymore. It survived. So here are my bulbs that I'm pulling out. I'm going to plant those over beyond the frangipani when I start doing that garden up and see if it makes any difference. They may grow better there. I don't know. So anyway, the couch is gone. The bulbs are out. There's a bit of couch, I think, still around this slab because this slab has to move. And then there's the 3 risers for the retic that I have to take out. So with the retic, it's just normal poly pipe. I think I've got the 19mm poly pipe. And the risers, you'll see when I'm doing this, over on this side, you'll see some pictures pop up. Because I've sped the this section up. I should have slowed this bit down actually, but I sped it up, and now I've got to get quickly through what I'm doing, what I'm showing you. I thought I'd actually left this bit at normal speed, but apparently I didn't. And so I took a photo so you can see the riser in the pipe and what the risers look like. See this knot at the bottom? That stayed behind. I was unscrewing the riser, and once I got it out, the water started to seep out of the pipe. But I popped this little stopper in, and that's it. Now if I turn that all that retic on for the rest of the gardens, that won't leak. And here we are now on Saturday the 31st of May. Thursday and Friday were absolutely very wet days. Actually, I might be able to pop a video at the end of this just to show you the amount of water we were getting, and it was relentless. So the ground's quite soft and wet. I've hit a root here. Now, I don't know if that root has come from something that was once planted in this garden around here, or if it's travelled all the way from the frangipani. Because when I show you the frangipani later on, you will see that the paving behind it was all lifted and out of shape. So again, I'm taking I just took the photo there to show you, but I've put the photo up too soon. Anyway, so now I'm going along, and I've taken the cooch out that was around here. I've taken the iris bulbs out that were along here, the ones that I could find, and I'm getting all the retic out. Now, I don't have a lot of the 1 by 3 metre left. I've got one length that's the 3 metres. I had to go and buy another 1 metre square from here, and then I could put the rest of that down. I did put a piece out, which you will see as I'm going along here what I did. I'm now having to look at whether I want to cover the whole thing all around the rose bush, or leave a section here that's just going to be dirt. I bought some more of this black edging, and I thought what I could do is, I don't know what that was, something flew past my camera. If I continue the grass, I can still put the edging around and sort of edge that rose bush off and make it its own garden. If I don't put the grass down here, I could maybe just fill that in and then pop some rocks in there just to give it a bit of contrast. I don't know yet, I haven't decided. So at the moment, this section is staying as is, but you'll see as I'm going along, that's the last of the retic risers out of there. Can't remember if there was one around behind there as well. I'll soon see if I'll move. But it's starting to take shape. It's starting to look more like what it should be. I put that slab back over there for now. The grass is underneath it. Again, with the 12 layers of newspaper all the way through. And this is the new 1 metre square that I bought. In the case of, do I put it down there? Do I want it from the middle of the slabs? It's like, okay, what do I do? Because if I put it there, then I've got to try and get shapes to go into here, which is going to be a lot of cutting, and also they're just going to be bits and pieces. I don't know where I went wrong. Something I was after. Oh, the scissors. I play around with things a lot until I decide exactly what I want it to look like. You can see there, I'm not quite sure what I did there, that I've got a piece of top. I know what I did. I put a piece out of there to put here. I did even with a piece in there. That's what that was. So I could actually cut that off once I got that piece in there. I could cut all that bit off and leave that all as garden. I'd still need to put newspaper down though, otherwise if I just put rocks then that peach grass is going to just grow all through the rocks and it's going to be even harder to get at it, to get the roots and pull the roots up. So that would still need newspaper down if I do decide to put the rocks there. And the only problem with rocks, if I just use normal garden rocks, the crows around here, they tend to steal them. I've got a neighbour at the top of the street who's got stones all through her garden, and I very often find them dropped in mine. So the birds are picking them up, and then they get too heavy and they drop them. So, yeah, that's something I'm still debating on here. Now, while this is happening, I'm putting this into shape. I want to explain this little thing here you've probably noticed. There's an upside down terracotta pot in a hole. And what I was doing, I'd been up there watering this garden. And as I was walking back to put the hose back, was a paver there that I stepped on that sank. Now, this drain pipe goes into a soak well. So either the cap on the top was a large, a big 600 by 600 mil, I think it is, slab on top of the soak well. I don't know if that's cracked and it's fallen in, or whether there's something somewhere that the sand's, there could be ants underneath, that the sand's filling in their little ant holes. I don't know, but the sand has definitely dropped away. Now, normally I would have fixed that, but these pavers are really jammed tight. I got the hammer, my big claw hammer, tried to lift them, and I just haven't got the strength. And now I've put the hammer somewhere, and I don't know where it is. So I'm just going to wait for somebody to come and fix that for me. It's easy to do. If I can get somebody to lift the pavers, then I can fix it myself. That's not a problem. I've got plenty of sand to fill the hole in, but I need to see why it's simple. What was the problem with it? So that's a job that needs to be done. And then as you can see up here, there's a lot of leaves. There's pitch coming up through here as well. So this is another garden that will need tackling. And now that winter's coming in, and I think today's the last day of the rain. It's now Wednesday, the 4th of June. So we've had rain. We had rain on Sunday. We had some on Sunday, but I was busy on Sunday anyway, so I couldn't get in the garden. And then Monday and Tuesday, we've had nothing but rain all day. It's been raining today quite a fair bit. Even Saturday, you can see the sky is really grey. And it did sort of sprinkle a little bit every now and again, but not enough to worry about that. I could just stay out there and not get too wet. It's a bit like mizzle, really, a mix of mist and drizzle. So these two pots, I painted the terracotta pots. The cream is the British Paints exterior paint. So it's for 4 seasons and will last. I didn't need to seal it. I sealed the pots before I painted. And the black was done with the tiny tin dewlaps. That's actually a gloss. This is not gloss, it's a satin finish. Now, putting the glove on with a bandage around your hand wasn't easy, but I got there in the end. I've got the wetter soil here. I put some potting mix in. I just put a layer of potting mix, added some soil, and now I'm adding the agapanthus. And these are the Buccaneer. So it's a dark, sort of a deep purple, darkest purple. And I thought that would be a nice contrast against the orange of the roses when they bloom. I've just got a funny feeling that they're going to be blooming at different times, but that's okay. At least there'll be some colour in this garden. And I'll fill it up with the rest of the potting mix. And I'm making a mess all around the base. And once that's done, it's just a matter of cleaning all this stuff up and give that some water. It will rain on it, but I'd rather give it some water because you just can't guarantee how soon the rain will be off.
Can you hear it? That is really, really heavy.
As I said before, it's now Wednesday night, the 4th of June, and it did take me quite a few days, well, just over a week. I started on Tuesday, the 27th of May, with this makeover, and I got to finish it on, well, it's not quite finished, but I ended it on Saturday, the 31st of May. Now, what happened was, because we had the rain on Monday and Tuesday, I decided that what I would do was put all the videos together. There were actually 6 videos altogether from the camera. I did have an issue where the battery died, so I had to change it. And at one stage it stopped recording for some reason, so I had to start it again. And that wasn't the end of my problems. I started to put them together. I put the first 2 videos on, and what I do when I edit, I just put 2 small ones, edit those, produce those, and then do more, and then put all the small ones together to do the one big one. And as I was doing the first editing, I was informed that the software, I actually used Camtasia, and there was no space. It couldn't process the video. So I went through, and the hard drive on my computer had something like 750 meg left of space. So I had to go and create space by moving stuff from my hard drive onto, I've got a 300 gig external hard drive, a verbatim one. So I was putting stuff over there, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, that's full. What do I do? Then I remembered I had a 1 terabyte external hard drive, a WD. I bought it when I went on my trip back in 2019, 2020 with my granddaughter. But I knew had a lot of space on because I only used it for the photos and videos of our 6-week holiday. So I grabbed that out and I had to start moving stuff over to there to clear space off the let's call it E drive was the verbatim one, and the I drive was the WD. So I moved everything over, and while I was doing this, my computer shut down. And it's like, oh goodness me, what's happened? It had overheated. So I had to put all apart, get the compressed air can, blow as much dust out of it as I could and leave it to cool down, put it all back together again. I couldn't actually get into where the fan is, and I know there will be a layer of dust, but I did what I could. It cooled down long enough for me to do most of the work, and then it started heating up again. So I shut it all down, and finally today I got everything done. So here we are, and this is the front. This is the side view looking at the frangipani. Now you can't see it in this photo, or maybe your eyesight's better than mine, but this paving here has been raised a bit. It's in humps from the roots of this. This is near a soak well. There's a downpipe here, and there's a soak well somewhere around here. And the roots are sort of headed towards it. And I've got a funny feeling that may have been the root that I found here, may have been one of the roots from that. I don't know. It could have been from something else. I'm hoping it's from something else. Otherwise, I dread to think what it's like underneath my foundations. So anyway, we've got this little bit here that I'm still going to decide what I'm going to do with. I'm definitely going to be putting the black edging around it, because I think that would look nice. It will break up a lot of that green. And then this fence line here, I don't want to bring it all the way to the end here, because then I won't be able to get to my letterbox. So what I'm thinking of doing is going across on the diagonal. But to do that, I can't get these edges, the ends, through this grass and the rubber backing. So I'm going to have to do it really carefully I'm going to have to find a way of standing it up, using a nail to punch a hole in the grass and through the paper for each one of these to stand that up along there. And then I can finish it off across here. And then it'll look nice when I put the lights back around. I've got lights on it, but the batteries have died, so I'm going to put new batteries in, and that'll look nice then. It'll light that little garden area off a bit. So that's the plan at the moment with this. It's not looking too bad. I am thinking that I might finish it off. I might get one more square metre of this grass and put it in around it. Hopefully that will be enough to finish it off. Otherwise, it's just going to be newspaper with rocks on. So we'll see how we go. Anyway, that's the story of the makeover of the front garden. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of weeds in this area now. So this garden is all going to have to be redone. And the bulbs I pulled out of here, that I don't know what they are, will go in this garden here. Maybe with a bit of shade from the tree, a bit of shelter. They may grow better. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyway, that's it for this front rose garden makeover. I hope you enjoyed my journey, and I hope it gave you some ideas for things that you can do in your garden. And as it's Wednesday night, this is last week's and this Wednesday's video. And next week, what am I going to do next week? I don't know. We might do a surprise. I might pop a short up over the weekend if I make a decision. So watch out for a short popping up to say what we're going to do. Anyway, thanks for calling in again. Don't forget, subscribe, give me the thumbs up, make a comment, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.